Shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Ha, Rakah, Kodash, Ma'amath. Double honors to the elder apostles of GMS. Salutations to the sincere Akim, pushing his truth and sincerity around the four corners of this earth. I'm the Car Karat Ban Yasharala, coming out of the Lions Den camp here in Jacksonville, Florida. And today, I'll be coming out with a lesson. The title of this lesson is Of the Truth, because as you know, the men that were before us, famous men, such as the prophets, Daniel, Jeremiah, Obadiah, famous men, David, Solomon, Samson, just to name a few names. We must give honor, praising them, because a lot of those men, they were doing the will of the Heavenly Father. They were walking righteous with the Lord. Sometimes, as men, we in this flesh, we may make mistakes from time to time, but for the most part, these men still should be given their praise, given their honor, because a lot of these men came through our forefathers from the beginning. But without further ado, I'm going to get right into the scriptures. This is Sirach, or Ecclesiasticus, chapter 44, verse 1. It says, "Let us now praise famous men and our fathers that begot us." See, we must give honor to these men and our fathers that begot us, that were before us, that did righteously in the eyes of the Heavenly Father. Verse 2, "The Lord Yahweh hath wrought great glory by them through his great power from the beginning." And that is the truth. The Lord has done many miracles through these great men, through these famous men, by them through his great power from the beginning, from the days of old. So yes, we have to give, our honors to these men. We have to praise these men. We must look at their examples that they have set and follow and live according to the Heavenly Father as they did. Verse 3, "Such as did bear rule in their kingdoms, men of renown for their power, giving counsel by their understanding, and declaring prophecies." Let's take Solomon. He was a man that ruled in this kingdom of men. He was renowned for his wisdom, for the level of power that he had, and he gave right counsel by their understanding, by the wisdom that he had, that he got from the Most High, declaring prophecies. Just to give you an example, verse 4, "Leaders of the people by their counsels and by their knowledge of learning meet for the people, wise and eloquent in their instruction." David was another man that was a leader of the people and followed righteous counsel. And he judged accordingly by his knowledge and his understanding and his wisdom that was meet for the people through the Heavenly Father. And it was wise and eloquent in their speaking, especially Solomon. So yeah, we gotta give honor, we gotta give praise, we gotta give credit where credit is due. This is a truth. This is of a truth. But continuing. It says, "Such as found out," verse 5, Salakia, "such as found out musical tunes and recited verses in writing." Just look at the Psalms. Just look at Psalms, the Proverbs, David Psalms, Proverbs. See? But continuing, I don't want to do too much talking. I want to kind of stay to my point. I'm going to just jump down to verse 7. It says, "All these were honored in their generations and were the glory of their time." See, all these great wise men that was doing righteous before the Heavenly Father were honored in their generation at that time. Solomon was very honored. David was honored. Just to give you some examples of some names, just to paint a picture in your mind. They were greatly respected, honored. They were praised for their wisdom, their leadership, their correct judgment and righteousness and truth. Though some of those men may have fallen short and sinned, that doesn't make them less righteous, because they repented if it was a falling short. I'm gonna jump down to verse 10 again. It says, but these were merciful men whose righteousness has not been forgotten. And the righteousness of these men that 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 us now should give praise and honor to, their righteousness have not been forgotten. Their work still stands. It is still here. And reincarnation is real. So all those brothers, all those men, they are back doing the work of Yahweh Yahushua. And their righteousness, again, hath not been forgotten. The Heavenly Father has not forgotten their righteous works. Heavenly Father kept that in remembrance, and it's still here. I'm going to read verse 11. With their seed shall continually remain a good inheritance, and their children are within the covenant. That's all people that was obedient to the Heavenly Father. These righteous men, they left seed and children, and their children continue. As you can see, the seeds that have been planted then are budding now. Look at the men of the Lord that you see around the four corners of the earth bringing this word. That is that good seed. That is that inheritance within the covenant that the Most High made with the children of Israel. It says, verse 12, it says, their seed standeth fast, and their children for their sakes. Their seed shall remain forever, and their glory shall not be blotted out. See, the righteousness that these men have wrought will not be blotted out. All this righteous seed that they have planted, it's gonna last forever. It's gonna bud and continue and last forever. It's not gonna be forgotten. Verse 15, it says, the people will tell of their wisdom, and the congregation will show forth their praise. See, the people will tell of their wisdom. The men of the Lord that the Heavenly Father set up will tell of their wisdom through the scriptures and explain the righteous and great works that these men have done. The people will tell of their wisdom, and the congregation will show forth their praise, their honor, their righteous work. So this is the truth. Yes, we must give honor. But continuing, this is Sirach 39, verse 1. It says, but he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High, and is occupied in the meditation thereof, will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient, and be occupied in prophecies. And that's what these men did. These righteous men, they did this. This is of a truth. They gave their minds to the laws, to the statutes, and commandments of the Heavenly Father, and they were occupied in the meditation thereof. They were constantly thinking about and doing righteous in the eyes of the Heavenly Father. And they will be occupied in prophecies. Verse 2, he will keep the sayings of the renowned men, and where subtle parables are, he will be there also. And that's what happened. This is what these men did. They kept the sayings of renowned men, known men, and where subtle, wise, parables are, he will be there also. Verse 3, he says, he will seek out the secrets of grave sentences, and be conversant in dark parables. And that was we're gonna use Solomon yet again. He was very conversant in dark parables. He spoke very poetically, parabolically. Yahushua spoke very parabolically. These are the men that we must give honor to. That we must give praise to. Look at their righteous examples. A man that's going to do according to the Heavenly Father, he's going to do what Sirach 39 verse 1, 2, 3 is going to they're going to be doing these things, and that righteous work is going to last. That righteous work will not be forgotten. This is a truth. That's why the title of this lesson is Of a Truth. Verse 5, I'm gonna jump down. It says, he will give his heart to resort early to the Lord that made him, and will pray before the Most High, and will open his mouth in prayer, and make supplication for his sins. And see, that is what these righteous men did. That is what these men did. Daniel, he prayed to the Heavenly Father a lot. He resorted early. And that's what these men did. They resorted early, and they turned to the Heavenly Father early, to the Most High. And they opened their mouth in prayers, and they made supplications for their sins if they did wrong, if they transgressed the Heavenly Father's word or his laws. And this is an example that we should be following. This is a truth that we should follow. Verse 6, this is, when the great Lord Yahweh will, He shall be filled with the spirit of understanding. He shall pour out wise sentences and give thanks unto the Lord in his prayers. And that's what a lot of the men, the prophets of old did. The Lord will fill them with his spirit, with the spirit of understanding, and they will pour out wise sentences, dark parables, limitations, and woes, and give thanks unto the Lord in prayer. They prayed and gave thanks to the Heavenly Father in prayer. Just read the accounts. You have many accounts in the Heavenly Father's word. Verse 7, he shall direct his counsel and knowledge, and in his secret shall he meditate. See, the Lord gonna direct the counsel and the knowledge, your footsteps. That's what happened with the men that the Heavenly Father set up, the prophets of old, our forefathers. He directed their footpaths. So we should look back on these accounts and these things and see that the Heavenly Father did direct these men and gave them his spirit, that they may be able to expound wise and eloquent sayings, dark sayings, parabolic sayings. But the Lord directed their counsel, and they stayed and they meditated in the Heavenly Father's wisdom and his guidance and his knowledge. And when the Heavenly Father will, in verse 8, he shall show forth that which he hath learned, and shall glory in the law of the covenant of the Most High. And that's what they did. It's going to show forth, and they showed forth that which they had learned through the Heavenly Father. And they gloried in the law of and the covenant of the Most High. They gloried in being obedient and doing what the Heavenly Father says to do. So this is the truth. Give those men praise, mean give them honor. Look at their example. Yahushua, the main example. Look what he did when he was on this planet. People ignorantly call him Jesus, but his name is Yahushua. Paleo Hebrew. The Lashawan Kodash, the Holy Tongue. That is his true name, Yahushua. Not Jesus Christos, not that Jesus Christos name that they like to throw around. But this is of a truth. We need to look back and see that these men were ever forsaken for doing the will of the Heavenly Father. We can learn from that. With that, Shalom.